I'm going for a quick afternoon exploration of an area I've been to a number of times before, but never with the aim of finding out what it would be like as a training area. I've got my bag with a yellow rain cover and a poncho. I've got a poncho for making a shelter, a cooking system with some food and water, a pair of work gloves, and a thin green jacket just in case it should get cool. The poncho will also double as rain protection. I've made a print off of the map from the computer and I'm going to use it this afternoon just to check where I am and note anything down. We're out on the fell. It's an end of summer day. We've had a few hot days. Yesterday was really grey. Today it's hot and close. This is reflected in not having warm kit with me. The big problem today will be thunderstorms. But it's a different environment from the woodland that we normally use. So what I'm going to do is give you a quick pan round and then go down to the wooded area to see how we can use that. I've been here a lot, but normally in the winter and the autumn. Not very much in the summer. We've come off the main path. We're going down a subsidiary smaller path through the small new trees to the large ones and then onto the main track to have a look at some areas that look good on the map, but you need to check them out on the ground first. These little side tracks are much more overgrown in the summer than they are in the winter. Also, there's the problem of ticks, which are increasing in this country due to climate change. So, although it would be good to wander around in shorts, long trousers are the answer today. We've soon come to an area that's off the beaten track. Because there were so many trees, although a lot of them have been felled, the track has disappeared. So it's retrace the steps and find somewhere new. Even on an exploratory walk along an old industrial track, there's always time to have a look at your surroundings, to see what type of trees and vegetation we have. And in a small area, that can be very, very varied. It's worth taking time every few minutes to pause, stop, look and enjoy. Eventually we found a side track. It isn't marked on the map. It is a little bit overgrown, but I think that's just because of the summer weather. It looks like a good option to get further downhill. I'm going to take it. I do, however, know which way I'm going. I have my compass and I am using it. This is not a trap. It's the remains of our industrial heritage. Old industrial areas are full of hazards like this, especially at night, and especially if you're not paying attention to your environment. We've come to the steep side of the valley. There are plenty of paths going across and up and down. It's an area that's well used, but it's far enough away from habitation to be reasonably private. Despite it being well afternoon, this area is still damp. It hasn't rained for a few days, it's been fairly hot, but in the shaded environment, with cloudless nights, there's plenty of dew. You need to take this into consideration if you're going to be camping out. Also, there's plenty of sphagnum moss, which tells us that this area is normally damp. This too has to be borne in mind. It doesn't tell you on the map, you only find it out by inspection. Within a few metres and a few minutes of taking the last set of photographs, we've come across a recognisable and easy to use path down to the bottom of the valley. So I'm going to take this one down, maybe walk along and find another one up. If not, I'll return this way. We found this wonderful spot and it is pretty amazing. There's no litter. We must be 15 minutes maximum from the car park, but hardly anybody comes here and drops litter. This is great. Okay, I've established where I am, and using my spare glasses from my backpack, I've located myself on the map. So now, go a little bit further on, maybe find the disused mine, and certainly have some lunch. Perhaps I spoke too soon. Litter, plastic, it's going to be here for ages. It may blanch out in the sun, but it's going to remain here. Not good. I'll take it with me. Blueberries, they're here. There's not many this late in the season, but they are available. The whole area is riddled with paths, so it's a good idea to keep a track on your general direction and also be able to work out an escape route if required. If the worst comes to the worst, I head downhill and follow the stream to the town, or I head uphill to the old path and go back to the car park. My options are open. This path continues and looks as if it's going downhill. However, at the side here we have one that's going uphill. I'm going to choose this one because it has the best opportunity to get me out into the open where I can establish my position. It's one of the main paths, as these steps show, so we know we're not too far from anywhere. And once we're out in the light, we can establish our position exactly on the map. Although it's not too important at the moment, because we're not too far from anywhere. We're at the end of the reserve. We're standing in the old mine workings. We've got a definite identification point where we are on the map. Now to look for a bivvy site. Let's not pass up nature's bounty. Here we can see this area is well used, not only by hikers but mountain bikers as well. So, although it may be a quiet area, it's not totally secure. We've got an area here. It's not the best area in the world and it's fairly damp, but it will be good to practice skills. Okay, we've got a shelter up. It's not a good one. It's not what I need. You could sleep under it, but I actually want to sit, rest and do some cooking, so I'm going to change it round. Now to get down to the serious business of cooking lunch. Well, I'm just about ready. The stove's out and secure. I've got my water bottle, my cup, the food and a lid. So let's give it a go. I'm not sure I really like this type of water bottle top. It's meant to be used with a gas mask. I don't normally use a gas mask, so I think I might change it. I haven't used this stove for a while, so I'm not really up to speed with it. Again, if you don't use your kit all the time, you lose the skills. Okay, it doesn't take long to get them back, but it does take a minute or two. Just as an aside, ponchos are good and you can make a shelter big enough for one person. However, shelter sheets being a little bit bigger make the job a lot easier, although you can't use them as a raincoat. Well, the noodles are in and they're boiling well. However, the cup and the stove aren't really a good match for each other. It will work, but my worry is if your fingers are cold and numb, you'll make mistakes and you'll cover yourself with boiling water. So it's ready. We've got the fish, got the noodles, got the packet noodle. The fish tin will go in the packet will go in the foil, we'll pack it out, we'll get them replaced once we're at home. So, guten appetit. Get sorted, get out, get training. You know it makes sense, it'll serve you well.